Hello there and welcome back to Eurosatory News. I am now joined by Dalius PETRULIONIS, who is the co-founder and CTO of ASTROLIGHT out of Lithuania. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Eurosatory News.
Thank you for having me.
Now, is this your first Eurosatory?
It is. It is actually our first time here.
Why have ASTROLIGHT come to Eurosatory?
So we see the need for secure and unjammable communication, and we do provide that for satellites and for ships. I think in the current climate, it's very important to have something that is hard to jam.
I see you've brought some guests with you today.
I did.
What are we looking at here?
So this is our satellite terminal. It has the free space optical system, which transmits a laser beam down to Earth, and you can transmit data with it. This is our amplifier. So we provide everything. We are quite vertically integrated. We provide the satellite terminal, the ground station, and we do everything in-house, from the optics to the modem to the optical amplifier.
So why laser and not radio spectrum?
Because radio spectrum is limited. You have to actually license the radio spectrum. You can interfere with other people. That's both for the security and jammability, but also just in terms of usage. You have to buy the license. And for this, you don't. The beam on the ground is only 100 meters in diameter, so you can't really interfere. And there's added security. You can secure the perimeter, and nothing is radiated outside that perimeter.
And I imagine it's easily deployable and mountable versus some of the traditional methods that exist.
Indeed. So we aim to be as easy to use as radio. Of course, there are satellite pointing requirements with the narrow beam, but we provide a steering system that kind of relaxes those requirements. You only have to point your satellite approximately, and then our steering system takes hold. It finds the ground station, processes about 3 gigabits of data to do that, and then can transmit our about 10 gigabit beam down to ground by itself. You don't really have very adverse requirements for integration.
So essentially, whoever your client may be, they can retain their structural integrity, so to speak, and immediately implement this within the greater sort of ecosystem that they have.
Yes, that's our aim. And we also aim to provide the ground infrastructure as well. So actually, the efficiency of the system makes the ground infrastructure quite easy to deploy. We have a small system, especially compared to radio. So while radio dishes can be meters, this requires only 35 centimeter, dish, a telescope.
35
centimeter, yeah.
Wow. Where did the idea come from? How did you conceptualize something of this nature and then arrive at what we have here?
So we come from a background in lasers and in satellite integrators. So our co-founder and CEO, Laurynas, he comes from nanoavionics, which was recently sold to Kongsberg.
Okay.
And we saw that there is a need for faster and more available communication that radio cannot provide. With more satellite in space, the spectrum is getting crowded, licenses are not getting renewed sometimes, so you have to protect your investment by being free of those licensing requirements, and maybe be more agile, not wait for the legislature to turn the gears, give you the access. You launch a satellite, you can communicate immediately.
And it's impressive. Something of this nature you could fit in a backpack.
Oh yeah?
And do the work of something much, much, much larger.
Yeah, so it's much smaller on the ground. The ground station is much smaller. The conventional radio terminals in space are, I would say, similar size, but this doesn't require an antenna. So that's an important thing. The only thing is the optical aperture, and that's only 38 millimeters for transmit and receive. That's it.
What would you like to impart to our Eurosatory viewers who are not quite familiar with you just yet?
So this is a new technology. I would like everybody to have a look at it, because this is a viable alternative to radio for satellite comms that provides you better total data downlink over time. So people often have concerns with clouds and adverse weather conditions. While they are also important for radio communication, especially in the high frequencies, this cannot get through to clouds. But by distributing ground station infrastructure and uncorrelated in terms of weather locations, you can have latencies of less than 90 minutes for data downlink. And due to its speed, which is an order of magnitude higher than radio, you can still have more data transmitted over a day or a month than you would have with radio, and cheaper per gigabit as well.
We hear so often that laser is the future, but obviously the future is now.
Indeed.
Because this is deployable right now.
Yeah.
When can we imagine this in the terrain? If
Uh,
people are interested to some of the other partners here at Eurosatory, for example, when might we expect something of this nature in the terrain?
So we are a startup. This is a new product. There are sales of this. We have sold some to a French company, to some other European entities, and we have not flown it yet. So the demonstration is coming. We
Okay.
have flights upcoming. So we have to really focus on that, have successful demonstrations. We have basically 4 flights upcoming. So
Okay.
it's quite, I'm happy with it.
So essentially, stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you, Dalius PETRULIONIS of ASTROLIGHT from Lithuania. I imagine you're going to find many, many, many people here at Eurosatory who are keen to find out more about ASTROLIGHT. Thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
And there you have it, Dalius PETRULIONIS from ASTROLIGHT, who has brought to us this remarkable device using lasers. Yes, indeed, the future is now. We'll be right back after these messages. Stay tuned.